What's up? Got one of these here. TWOSUN. Let's get it out of here. We're going to check it in and check it out. Let's see what's in here. Okay. So, yeah. It's that little dude. I mean, as a collector, I just had to get one. All right. Let's figure this thing out. I don't think there's much to figure out. Maybe this will be a quick video. This will go on a 2-for-1 day. Okay, so this is the TWOSUN TS181, and it's actually in 14C28N, titanium one side, MICARTA on the other side. How about it? It's got this big hole here. I mean, I can absolutely touch that blade in there. And then what's going on there? It's like a keyhole. Look at that. I mean, surely there's some design feature, but I mean, the pocket clip, oh man, is it short. Not a lot of flex going on there. That'll be interesting. Let's give it a quick wipe. It's got a little bit of oil on it. I don't need to get my hands all oily. And then let's let this thing run. What's it about? You know, I was watching a video earlier today from another channel. Ready? Oh, that was disappointing. All right. Yeah. I'll tell you about that video in a second. Okay. Yeah, you got to kind of send it, I guess. Yeah, you got to do it with some intention. I'm going to wipe that blade off a little bit too. It's pretty greasy. All right. It's good enough till I get in it. Oh. Yeah, so it's got some kind of blemishes there. Yeah, I see that once in a while. And every now and then I wonder to myself, I wonder if I should say something and send this back. But I kind of treat it like, I don't know. It's kind of part of the process and part of the knife and rubbing some of that oil on that MICARTA. All right, let's run a little bit and then we're going to get in it. Yeah, there's definitely some blemish on that edge. So yeah, the action's not very good. And that's all we're looking for right now before we get in it. What's going on with the action? It's not horrible, considering what we got here. The lockup is maybe 25 to 30%. So I'm going to whack that real quick. I need to know if that's going to fail, because it's close enough that I don't have the answer. Yeah, it's fine. It's just not very, very far. All right. I mean, one shake and I can get it to close. I think I'm just being kind of critical of it because the blade stock on this is thinner than normal and it's really light. I mean, there's not a lot of material there. I sure wish I knew what that was about. If that's a keyway for, like, there's a stud that goes through that hole and it's got a keyway, so it's only aligned a certain way. Now that would make sense. But if that's the case, where's the stud? Did they decide not to do the stud, but the blades were already cut for it? I will say that I can see that if that's the case, it wouldn't work because this side is blocked by that frame lock. Yeah, I don't know. All right, well, let's get in it. See if we can't improve that action. Oh, that wasn't tight at all. That was very loose. Just waiting to fall out of there. Yeah, that's not very tight either. That one snapped just a little bit. Should come apart now. Take that pressure off of there. Yeah. It's oily. That's a chunk right there. I mean, that's probably half the weight of the whole knife. All right. Is that bearing on micarta? Okay. It's got a little insert there. I was like, are you kidding me? Come on, man. But yeah, it's got a little washer. Okay. I mean, penny pound, right? It went that deep. Might as well just wrap it up. Be completely a disassemble. There we go. I don't know that I see anything that tells me I'm going to be able to make it better, but it's definitely kind of funky. I think what I'm going to do is while we're cleaning this, I'm going to rub this down because it's kind of dry. So right there, just a little dry. So I'm going to just rub that and let that oil soak in. And then I'll rub it really well with this microfiber when I'm done. And it'll take all that excess oil off it. Yeah, this backside's dry as a bone. It just soaked all that oil up instantly. All right, we'll let that soak. It's funny because, you know, basically the main process is on a TWOSUN is to get all that oil off the knife. But this is one of those instances where I'm going to put a little on the knife. Kind of lighten up that micarta. Or actually it'll darken it up, but make it a little more pliable. Tiny little bearings. These are itty bitty little ones. Yeah, I mean, I really don't see anything here. Just a little excess oil. I don't really see any dirt. But, you know, that don't necessarily mean anything. The blade's kind of dirty. It's got some dirt in it for sure. And then that's staining's back here and up here on this side. Yeah, it's up here. It's actually everywhere. Yeah, back here on this blade. I don't know what that is, but it's definitely stained. I mean, I would call it a blemish for sure. It's pretty bad. You can see it pretty good. Doesn't feel very sharp either. I mean, maybe a little bit. But yeah, there's some of that there, and then there's a bunch here. I don't know. Get the right angle, and you can see that there. But this is a TS181 and 14C28N. A Wong design. All right, let's get it back together. Go ahead, wipe this surface oil off of this. Kind of want to be careful not to do that too much because there's something about a micarta scale and a microfiber towel. That microfiber will suck whatever oil's here, it'll suck it right out of there. Make it too dry. All right. For sure, this is where we're going. Something tells me I didn't wipe this. I know I didn't. Okay. Had to backtrack just a little bit. This backspace here on. I like that. I mean, I talk about this all the time. Why didn't they just make that backspacer run forward so that you're protected and not so you can't make contact with the blade? And clearly that was done here. It's nice to see. There we are. I'm going to kind of look at this, but the locking mechanism is on both sides, this side and this side, that lock pin. On this side, it's making contact with the micarta. It's making contact with the titanium on this side, but yeah, it's rocking into that micarta on this side. That's probably not a great idea. I mean, based on that, this thing should run like crazy. What I just felt there. Oop. I mean, it's kind of an odd little knife, but will it like open up a box? Will it, open packages if I stuck it in my truck? That kind of thing. That almost feels like that's not right. Yeah, it's just deceptive. There's nothing going on there. Sometimes it just, you take them apart, you're putting them together, and they just don't quite feel right. Like something is not quite right. And that's kind of what was going on there. It just didn't feel 100% correct to me. Okay, what do we got? So it's definitely tight now, but remember when I took it apart, this had no tension on it whatsoever. It was like just on. That's all it was. Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at right now. And I think that's where it's got to be for this to work properly. So let me check blade play. Yeah, it's solid. So I'm going to put some Loctite on this and then we'll call it good. Because there's no tension on that screw at all. It's just sitting in there, freewheeling. So I was watching another video, and I don't know what it is, man. Y'all can let me know in the comments, but a lot of reviewers, man, I'm watching them, and it's like they do everything but run the knife. And I'm kind of, I'm sure there's plenty of people that watch my stuff and go, oh, this guy irritates me. Why does he take it apart? Why is he talking about that? And, but golly, man, I went and searched out a video on a particular knife because I'm interested in it. And I thought, well, I wonder what people are saying about it. So I found a video and I'm watching it. And I'm pretty sure it was 5 minutes into that video before the action was ever run. And then it was just run to open. And there was another like 8 or 9 minutes of measuring and talking and the origin and I'm like maybe the whole video the knife got run 8 times, 7, 6, 8 times. And man, that's the whole reason I'm watching. I want to see the knife run. So much of this other stuff, it's really hard to equate it. Me personally, maybe you can figure it out from watching what I'm doing here, but like I can't really tell the size that much. I can't, the ergonomics are a personal thing. Like, where I hold it, would you hold it? And so it's hard to figure some of that stuff out, but I definitely want to see the action of the knife. I want to see it run. So when I'm running it here, just so you know, it's not because I'm trying to make good content for YouTube channel. It's because I want to see the knife run. And when I'm taking it apart, I'm not taking it apart for you. I'm not, I'm not trying to be antagonistic to the people that watch this. I'm with you. There's some unity there. I get it. Like if what I'm doing makes sense to you, I'm glad that you're watching. But it's like therapy for me. Like right now, I'm literally talking to nobody and I get to talk about knives where normally I would just sit here quiet in this same exact space and I would do this and I wouldn't get to talk about it. I would just sit here. And I said this in a video quite a while back, but, sometimes I'm like Leonard from Full Metal Jacket, Sometimes I'm like, yeah, the action, it's smooth and the blade fits right there and the lock is perfect at 50%. Sometimes I'm just talking to myself. But now that I have a channel, it makes me not crazy because, excuse me, I'm making videos, Yeah, so, hey, if that makes sense to you, good for you, man. Because I know my people get to walk by me now, and it makes sense. It's like, oh, he's making a video. Where before, I would just be sitting here tinkering by myself, and so now I get to talk to the camera. So, but anyways, when you see me opening a knife, that was a long way around. It's like it's late. I'm loopy, man, and the doctor's got me on medication, so maybe that's what's up. But if you see me opening the knife, it's because I want to see what's in there. If you see me taking it apart, it's because I want to take it apart. I want to see what's going on in there. I want to clean it up. So the channel is just an outlet for me to do what I love to do. I get it, man. So ergonomics on this thing, grip. We'll wrap up this tiny little knife. I had fun laughing anyways. I hope some of it was half comical to y'all. But it's kind of a weird spot to grab here. But based on this knife and what it would be used for to open something, that's a legitimate spot there. And then definitely this is legit here. And I think for sure it's built for a pinch, to do a pinch grip. That's what that cutout's for. It's got a little bit of jimping there. So hey, could you snap this open and cut a box open? Could you dig that in? And yeah, absolutely. So hey, from that aspect, I think it's kind of functional. Let's check that pocket clip. It is definitely not drop shut and never gonna be. Never gonna drop shut. Just the detent alone is strong enough against that blade that it's look how free that is. But this detent on this frame lock is so strong on that light blade that it's too much resistance for that to run properly. But it's okay. All right, pocket clip. Thick stuff. Can I even get it under there? With two hands and a bunch of manipulation. I'm going to say it's not for thick pants. Let's just go there. It's not for that. But standard size jean material, it goes right over the lip and it runs pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, I'm going to judge it based on normal thickness jeans, because anything smaller than that, it's absolutely going to run. But, yeah, it runs good there. A fairly deep carry. It's got just the tiniest little bit sticking out. It's got some cool milling. There's a circle pattern here, and it goes, the clip has arrows. So a circle and some arrows. Kind of neat. It's enough to, I guess it's worthwhile to point out for sure. The micarta. It's that rough, like burlap micarta. But it's got some grip. It's got some texture. Yeah. So, is it sharp? Is that thing cut? I mean, there's the question. I say you could go open a box, but when I touched that blade, it did not feel very sharp to me. But hopefully I'm pleasantly surprised here. And I am. Yeah, this thing's super sharp. Good thing I didn't, treat it with disrespect, because I'd be cut right now. Yeah, this thing's incredibly sharp. Very sharp. So, little utility knife. Price and availability. I see them at eBay auctions, and also on White Mountain Knives for around $48. So you can look for eBay auctions. White Mountain Knives is around $48, and then you'd get that within a week is pretty much what I get from White Mountain Knives. The auction side of it, I caught this for $28 in an auction. Yeah. It's got some blemish, man. It's got, I don't know, is that acid from the etching process? Not sure what that is on there, but I know this, my history with that, because it's not the first knife I've ever got with that on it. My history with that is that don't come off. Could I polish that off of there? Probably. Am I going to polish this knife? No. So, there you go. TWOSUN, TS181, MICARTA, 14C28N. Appreciate you watching.